Y'all, I blazed through 3 of my fall makes that I talked about in my last video, mostly because I wanted to get through as many projects as I could before I started on the patterns that really scare me the most. So let's talk about this week's makes right now. First up, I made the My Embrace Cocoon Cardi from Pattern Emporium. That was this one I was talking about. I made the tunic length and the short sleeve. So that was this one here. And the only thing that happened with this one is the fabric was not wide enough. I don't know what the width was, but it didn't fit the entire pattern piece. So I just had to get a little creative. So the seam goes along here. You cut it in one big piece and then you cut the cuff. And I just had to get a little creative to finish out, this whole thing. It just wouldn't work. And you can flip it the other way, going down the grain, but because it's a directional print, I really had no other choice but to do that. And I didn't have enough fabric to cut it, to give a center back seam, because I also had cut a shirt out of this and I wanted to cut a skirt out of it as well. So I didn't have enough to just fiddle around with it. So I decided to cut as much as I could. I folded up the flap that was at the edge and then just moved to another piece of fabric and then just cut that part and then serged that onto this. So I think overall you can't really, fix it up, you can't really notice it unless I told you, but I think it worked out. And I love this length. I'm wondering if I could even go a little bit shorter. I don't know, maybe even up to here or something. But I love this. I love the fabric. I love where the cuff sits. It was a super easy sew. I think you just did like, oh gosh, no worries, just my iron. It was a super easy sew. There's like these 2 seams and then the cuffs, and then you hem it. And this is a viscose jersey. This is something I got probably over a year ago from Fabric Mart. It was an Italian designer, dead stock. Saw it, instantly loved it. I think I bought 4.5 yards of this. So I've already made a shirt out of it, which I talked about, which originally was a skirt that I hated. And it just did not work in this fabric. So I cut out of the skirt, I cut a shirt, and that video is here if you want to check that out. And I still had a lot left over, so I wanted to do this one, and then I wanted to do a skirt out of it as well. So love this one. I cut the size 10. To refresh, my measurements are 34.5 to 3/4, 36 bust, 30 waist, 40 hip, and 41 lower hip. So I'm right in the 10, 12 of Pattern Emporium patterns, 10 on top, 12 at the waist and the hip. So I just cut the straight size 10 and it worked out great. Okay, the next one I made was the Dream On skirt. I wanted to do this one in the maxi length. I talked about this last week as well. Let me refresh you on that. It's this one. It's a dress and a skirt. So look at all these options you have. Look at all these line drawings. Love it. I chose this one. I absolutely love that it's 2 tiers. It's kind of leaning into that like prairie style vibe, which is, you know, prevalent right now. And I love that it's the 2 tiers. I love that there's a deep top tier and a deep bottom tier. I love this skirt. I want to make more. I don't know out of what yet. I'm still toying with maybe some of the stuff I got from like those Michael Kors fabrics. Yeah, I love this one. It feels so good. Now, lots of interesting moments with making this skirt. So here's what I did. I cut the size 12 in this. I did not have an 1.25 inch elastic. I only had 1.5 inches. I haven't finished this part up yet. I rarely do finish these, but I think I will because you can kind of see it on the back a little bit. I don't want you to be able to see the white. So I haven't finished that up yet, even though I've worn it. I cut the 12. I did, for the first time, I gathered with elastic, and oh my word, amazing. So she actually, in the tutorial, the designer gives you the how much to cut. This is what I was so confused about, is when people would talk about it, and I, should probably read all of the instructions if I'm thinking about doing it, but I've never really gathered that way on anything knit. And like I said before, I don't mind gathering. It's not something that that bugs me, but when it's a knit like this, it's so hard to kind of fiddle with. Anyway, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it because everybody talks about it and I feel like it would be easier with this type of fabric, and boy, was it ever. All you have to do is just kind of 1/4 and 1/8 the entire length. And she just walks you through about how much to cut for which tier. So you don't even have to do any math. Amazing. And if you look, it's super even. Super even. Look at that. Oop. And when I'm gathering, it's all over the place. So especially with a knit, this was so easy. I loved it. I don't have a cover stitch machine, so I finished my edges with zigzag stitch. I did the same thing on here. Fun story about constructing this skirt. I had cut everything out, and including pockets, and I knew I had cut out pockets, but when I was trying to find all the pieces to put together, I had this on the table. There's a lot of this fabric, and even some scraps that I had as well. I could not find the pockets. So I cut out another set, get everything organized, start putting the skirt together. I forget to put the pockets in. So I've got 2 extra sets of pockets, and here's the thing, you serge all these seams. And if you know anything about viscose jersey, it's not a sturdy fabric. And I'm thinking this is gonna be a nightmare to unpick. And I had already, on the Reconnect Cardi, had a whole saga with that make. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing it. And I think it really works out because it is such a fabric that it would probably rumple on the sides. Like, I just don't know how this would have sat. And I'm really fine with it. It's okay. We all have these moments. We had a lot of laughs over on Instagram. Several people messaged me and were like, yep, totally done that myself. So thank you for commiserating with me. The next one I did, and actually I did this one first, I did the Reconnect Cardi, and I talked about this last week. So this one was, boy, was this a challenge. Look at me. Was I too lazy to change my serger thread? Absolutely. And it didn't bother me until I was kind of getting close to being done, and I'm like, oh wait, you can really see that. But you know what? Whatever, man. Not going back. I wasn't gonna go back over it, because when you go back over it, it like makes it just like makes it too thick in the seam. So moving on. So wasn't gonna be bothered by it. This was really an easy make. This fabric was a nightmare to deal with. Super, super stretchy. One of you, Donna, on my last video was like, oh, just be careful, it's gonna grow. Because it's so heavy, it's super stretchy. And this absolutely grew so much. I had to cut off. I did take some video and pictures of the part of the process on this one because it was a maxi length and I wanted to do the ruffle. There's like all kind of like lint on here. I had to cut it off because when I put it on with the ruffle, it was on the floor. And I really wanted it around like ankle length. So I already put the ruffle on. Already, I had so much trouble with this because when I put the patch pockets in, which are attached to the side seam and everything is serged, I misaligned this other side. And I put this one on, this was correct, and I try it on and I'm like, what on earth? I also have video of that too. How? I want to know how I did this. So cute. Looks like this cardigan will not be having pockets after all. Good job. So this side was fine, although riding a little bit low because it is heavy. This one was like down by my knee because I used the wrong notch, and I didn't check myself on the other side when I pinned these in. I mean, why would you? So what I decided to do was just take this one off. So I'm unpicking serged seams in a super spongy, stretchy fabric, nightmare. I unpick this, I move it up. I don't align it perfectly. It still looks crooked. And I just decided to take them both off. So completely eliminated the pockets. And at that point, I had not put the ruffle on. So when I put the ruffle on, it grows even more. It's on the ground. So I have to cut off this much above the ruffle and then reattach everything. And I said I was gonna like sandwich it in there, but I didn't end up doing that. I actually ended up trimming the top part off. I'll show you a little bit of video of that, and then reserging it. What I did was I measured how much I wanted to take off, about 4 inches, 4 to 5 inches. So I just cut, pull back a little bit, just cut straight across there. What I'm gonna do, I don't know if this is a bad idea or not, but it's a shortcut because how long this took me to gather the first time, I do not want to do that again. So what I'm gonna do is flip this up. Sorry, my girls are making some noise. Flip this up and do right sides together like this. You know, I'm gonna lay it out correctly. But I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna line it up there and serge along that so that this extra piece will come off. It's gonna be thicker, I know that. You know, I mean, I even have light serger thread, okay? Whatever, we've made compromises this time. But it's really not that bad. Once I tried it on, like, yeah, you can see the serger thread, but it doesn't bug me. So, and it definitely didn't bug me enough to change out the thread. So this is what I'm gonna do to make this work because it was dragging the floor and it needed to be up on my ankle length. So, you know, you live and you learn. I knew this about stretchy fabric, but I haven't really sewn that much with this. So, you know, just something to learn. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pin this along here. I'm gonna reserge that and it'll be a little bit thicker, but it'll work out. All right, I gotta go get my girls up. Bye. I haven't even hemmed this. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm so done. And I don't think you can even tell, but a wonderful piece. I think this is gonna go with a lot. I tried it on with this skirt. It's like right at the same length. So that's gonna work out great. So I'm really excited about this. I would definitely make this again, and I would make it with pockets. I just have to maybe just find a different fabric. It just was really heavy, but it was the perfect color. Like I really wanted this color, but it was a difficult one to sew it. So I sewed this one up. Sorry, I forgot about the sizing. I sewed this in the size 10, and I did I? Okay, I just had to double check myself. I sewed the top in a size 10. So when I printed this out, I printed the 10 and the 12. So I taped it together, and when I was cutting the pattern pieces out, I cut the 10 up here and down through the underarm, and then started grading out right in here, from up here to about here, like right around the waist. And it worked out great. I didn't put any buttons on this, but I can close it. Oh, did I forget to show you the picture? Sorry about that. That one, Reconnect Cardi. I could close it if I wanted to, and I think I would consider doing that next time. I didn't do any interfacing on the band, so I just left it to where it would just be, you know, just a throw over cardigan. But I would like that, where I would like the look of it closing and kind of being like an overlay piece that's closed, and just like with the 3 buttons that they have. So I would consider that next time in just a fabric that was a little bit sturdier. Overall though, I love it. It's gonna go with a lot, and I'm really excited about this one. So is it perfect? No, but I'm in that sewing journey. I blazed through these this week, and I just wanted to get as much done because I told you I'm gonna hit that one next that is for our family photos, that simplicity one. this one, which I forgot to mention last time, the number, Simplicity 9639, which terrifies me, but I wanted to get these out of the way so I had some fall things to wear before I start working on this, which I'm afraid is gonna take me a long time. And also I have another pattern test coming up for bobbins and buttons. It is a collared shirt or shirt dress, which I think I'm gonna do the shirt version. So, and I've never done a collared shirt before. So I know that's gonna take me a while, and I'm gonna work on that in the beginning of October. So I have a lot to do and things that have to get done with certain deadlines. So I was really happy that I got all this done. All right, I think that's it for me this week. I am filming this early morning. Have you seen the sun come up in my video? I'm filming this before I even get my girls up. I'm gonna go start doing that right now. I still haven't finished my coffee. It's a quiet morning around here, but I have really good lighting in here. So I wanted to see if that would work out where I wouldn't have to do it in like the middle of the day if I don't always have a chance to film on Sundays. So yeah, I think this worked out pretty good. Let me know your thoughts. Have you sewn any of these? All of these pattern links will be in the description box, and all of the fabrics, these two fabrics I got from Fabric Mart. This one I got recently at a fabric haul, which I think there is still, I think this one was still left there, but possibly. If it wasn't this one, it was the exhale dress that I did, that ITY knit I saw still on the website. So if it is available, I'll still link that in the description as well. Have a great week, everyone. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like video if you liked this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Almost half of you watch that are not subscribed. So if you would like to join in and have a part in growing this channel so more people can be part of this community, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next week.